Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Friday Night StarCraft. I'm the Dragooner. Today we've got more IEM Kaotvice. It is the World Championships. It is where we will be taking games, at least until I can find somewhere else. Publicly available replays are a little bit hard to find, and well, no one knows who I am, so I don't get sent replays. Regardless, up in the top left, we have Solo. And in the bottom right, it is the one, the only, Maru. TVZ, the order of the day, as well. Yeah, I was about to say, like, I know that, like, Zerg production is weird, but looking at a pro game and seeing an empty production tab, yeah, not what I was expecting. As well, this seems greedy. So is it 17, 18, 17? Fair enough. Grab a couple of extra workers. Or putting down that sporting pool. For some reason I thought that might have been 3-hatch, which seems suicidal, to say the least. But no, he's going for just a standard one. I don't think he can go for 3-hatch these days. Like, yeah, it's like, why would Terra not build a Reaper? And then you have to deal with a Reaper with only drones. And you have a player like, you know, you have the Marus, Yuns, even Cure, and you're trying to kill Reapers with drones. Yeah, it's not going to end well for you. So, as a result, gets a spawning pool, gets a couple of lings to greet this Reaper as he runs in. Kills the spotting. Not sure if that was spotting or he was getting ready to put down the third. Either way, Reaper runs in. Zerglings. Don't let him stand still for too long. Oop. No. Nope. Only the initial drone goes down. Third base also goes up. Maru sees that, and I guess just kind of gets on with his life. Heads back to base, as his vision does. Macro's back up. Queen murders a critter. Thank you for giving me something to talk about, Solar. And given the complete lack of action, this is probably that convenient point to, you know, like, subscribe, all those things that show my YouTube videos to more people if for some reason you think that more people should see this video. If not, give it a thumbs down, because, yeah, that's how that works, right? Regardless, a couple of Hellions to follow that up from Maru. Gonna send these forward. Getting the Raven as well, which don't usually see in PVZ. Sorry, TVZ. Raven, at least until this tournament, has been pretty much purely a TVT unit. But cheaper cost, quicker build time. Also, these things help add up to making the Raven much more useful, even if the turret isn't the complete murder machine that it used to be. Not quite sure what he was hoping to see there. Overlord marching to the base. Sees one of everything. Sees the third command center. That's all he wanted to see. He knows there's a third. He sees the third command center and knows he doesn't really have to worry. There might be a Liberator coming. The fact that, and honestly, the tech lab on the starport, there might be Banshees. But with a third command center, it probably isn't. And yeah, he gets Raven instead. I'll be happy enough with the Spore Crawler on that. Respect. Decent Hellion count here, as he does what you know, you really should do when you build like 8 Hellions and transition into Pyre. Because really, who wants to focus around the units that you actually build in the early game? Just the creep sweeping begins. Queens politely throw knitting needles at these. Right, yeah, stealing Winter's lines there. Throw their needles at these Hellions until they get off their lawn. Raven flying around to give vision. So the Raven, I'm guessing, has been built purely for the purposes of allowing more mules to be put down. Which, honestly, is not unreasonable. Liberator will die to the Spore Crawler. Do not believe it achieved a lot there. As 3 drones have died. He might have killed a drone. I'm not sure. Queens. That turret makes that a very awkward engage for those Queens. Just continues cleaning up this creep, forcing Solar to have some Zerglings out. Marine upgrades are coming. Behind this, he's got his 5 barracks. He's got his medevacs. He's supply blocked. He's Stimodon. Stimmer's done. He's got combat shields on the way. Aliens come down here. They see the 5th base. That might be a little bit keen. Was he gonna... Oh, Hellions there. Managed to force the cancel despite having about 3 DPS between those 8 Hellions. Meanwhile, the actual force of Maru is sneaking to the top side of the map here, utilizing the complete lack of vision caused by all of those, all the work of those Hellions. As, oh, yep, Solar can't quite push in there. It's going to lose another hatchery. That's a bit awkward. That pushes him back to the 3rd base. Meanwhile, Mutas. That is 15 Mutas in the base, and that's going to force Maru to do something. Now, what the correct option to do here is a little bit hard to say for sure. I think the Sensor Tower is a nice get. He'll get the tank on the way out as well. And that does not hurt Maru's economy anywhere near as much as I thought it would. Okay. But, you know, 15 worker lead is not that big a deal when you're Terran. Like, oh, I guess I'll be putting down a few more scans. And yeah, I was about to say, I'm surprised those Marines and Widowmines just walked away from the Mutas there when they ran into the base, but regardless, big push coming into the middle of the map. This is the problem when you have Mutas, is that it means that you've just spent 1,400 minerals, 1,400 gas on units that can't really fight. Tanks are setting up. Marines are nice and spread out. There's just not going to be any good baneling hits here. Mutas might be able to dive in on some tanks. Oh, good angle he found there, Solar. But there's still a huge amount of Marines left over. Mutas are basically all dead. They can't fight that. There are 3 Zerglings, and that is game. As Maru just runs up the middle and takes game 1. And we head into game 2 now. On Gresvin. Solar starting bottom right. Maru top left. On what may be the biggest map in the entire map pool. So naturally I'm expecting some sort of cheese, because that's usually how that works. However, Maru has not sent out any extra SCVs. I'm very disappointed. And Solar doesn't look like he's planning on taking Maru's natural at any point in time. Or at least anytime soon. So we might actually see a macro game on the macro map. Hopefully Solar can resist the urge to build mutas in this one. Been a long time since I've seen that actually work. Like, it has to occasionally. I've probably just not seen the games where it does, but just really feels sometimes like, excuse me, like mutas are just like, okay, I run into my opponent's base, I kill a bunch of workers, and force my opponent to move across the map and kill me. It really is the Despicable Me meme. You just look at that 4th stage of the plan and just like, yeah, I didn't think about the part where mutas can't fight. Mutas are probably the best harassment unit in the game. But then they get into combat and you're just like, 2 Marines beat like 5 mutas. This was not cost effective. Hellions, on the other hand, can be very effective in the harassment units in the early game. Transition Maru would be proud of. 2 Rex at the front here. Before getting the command center. So it does look like Maru wants to put a little bit more pressure down. This has, of course, been spotted. He knows what 2 barracks at the front means, and immediately runs into a queen, which, to be fair, was expected. Only gets the 3 Reapers before plonking down the factory and various other things uses for his gas. But these Reapers will run in. They're the guys that with nothing mining from it. They know what that means. The link speed is on its way, and Solar is planning on taking more bases, as we see. Uses the barracks to chase the Overlord out. Pretty safe move to make at this level. I think it's pretty safe assumption that the Overlord will be there. Good drone pull here. SCVs make their way into the main. Sorry, Reapers. Not SCVs. SCVs are not working their way into the Zerg main. Does manage to pick up a worker. And Zerglings run in, and yeah. Yeah, add-ons can be a bit of a pain when these sorts of things happen. Solar taking prime advantage of that to just hold up the upgrades. Don't even have to force cancels or anything on the actual upgrades. And that's also less time when Marines are being built, which are all good things as far as Solar is concerned. Not so much if you're Maru. These Reapers continue to move around. Just scouting out the corners of the map. I'm guessing he's looking for rogue Zerglings like this one. Can I look around? Meanwhile, is there 4 Widow Mines? Is the game going to tell me? I think these are 4 Widow Mines. I wish I knew what caused that overlay bug and I would fix it. But I honestly have no idea. Zerglings Good pick off on those Reapers. Also seeing the medevac there is kind of a big deal. And honestly, the fact that the medevac continues on after being spotted... Oh, those were Hellions. Okay then. Well, this is slightly different to what... Oh, good trap. Really good trap. Only losing 2 SCVs. For a couple of 2 drones for a couple of Zerglings. And... Apologies. I should probably know what this is. Does this have the battle? Possibly not. Possibly not. What's this one? That graph. Well, that doesn't help us. Point is, I was looking for the battle report there for anyone who didn't realize. Because I'm pretty sure that pressing Shift B will send me back to the start of the game, and yeah, I don't want to put you all through that. 2 medevacs this time, full of Marines, making their way across. Just picking them up to give them a little bit of a boost. We'll head in, scan up some tumors. That's quite a few queens here from Solar. And honestly, yeah, these Marines not getting much done. And of course, you know what that means. We're really going to the Beyond School of Terror in this game. Looks like he wants to try out Solar's multitasking. Solar deciding that he wants to try out Maru's multitasking, which usually doesn't end well, from what I've tended to see. Forces a cancel on a depot. Meanwhile, that's a decent chunk of Marines with a couple of Widow Mines. That's not easy to deal with. Widow Mines will burrow, force everything back. Marines, but Queens. Oh, not the best Widow Mine connections. Did a good job of sending the Zerglings in to soak up the hits. Meanwhile, sits in the base, picks off a geyser. That is annoying. Gets just about all of his Marines and gets out. A few more Widow Mines in the middle of the map. These ones are going to be dropped, and those Marines are going to run home as, well, they can't just jump really high as soon as any Zerglings roll up. Time. More Zergling stabs. And he discovers the Great Wall, basically, as a few Marines have gone down, but not in exchange for not very much. We'll pick up a medevac here, maybe? Yes. Probably worth a queen. I don't think it's worth 3 queens, though, Solar. Does manage to retreat the rest of them. Alright. Plenty of supply depots out just to screw with anyone's pathing. Getting some Hydras now so to have an actual answer to the medevacs. And Drilling Claws coming down on the other side. Upgrade that I think we honestly probably don't see enough of. As Maru looks to be trying to get some timing happening at the moment. Fair few Zerglings running in. Widowmine does not get a lot done there. Certainly compared to what it could have. Meanwhile, bottom picks up his Marines before they get too badly surrounded. Takes another stab in towards the 5th base, I believe this is, of Solar. Gets forced back again. More and more stim packs being forced to be used here. Medevacs. Well, these ones are looking pretty good on energy. The bottom group's starting to get a little bit low. Tanks starting to roll out now. Gets a scan. These are Queen. Yep. The rest of Maru Solar's units. Marauder's standing at the front just to be a pain, and looks like this base was meant to be abandoned, but didn't. Meanwhile, the oh, huge Widow Mine hit there. That hurts. Oh, that would have been a really, really good cleanup there for Solar, if not for those Widow Mine hits. And that's doubly painful because it's so hard to get efficient trades as Zerg that when it looks like you're going to get them, I feel like it hurts even more when they don't pull off. As, by Zerg standards, that's a decent enough trade. It was five Zerglings went down for some medevac energy. As splitting up begins. Lurkers starting to go down. Marauders run in. Just picking off drones. He splits off here towards the 2 o'clock position, and there's not... I suspect that if he just commits into that with a few... Yeah. Force it to cancel. Absolutely nothing Solar can do to defend that. Meantime, his Widow Mines probably going to do some lethal damage in a minute. On the other side, Ghost production is starting as the... Ooh, possibly pick off a few ghosts here with this Ling run by. That's not meant to happen. Yeah, that makes that Ling run by instantly worth it, just delaying the real full force of these ghosts for another couple of minutes. As once they start coming out properly, yes, I know these lurkers have range. Yes, I know they do not have fast burrowing yet. That is almost... When I was about to say almost done, when what I meant to say was just beginning. Meanwhile, tank in the middle of the map. I think he's going to get picked off by these lurkers. Just a sneaky suspicion. Does manage to get one of them though. The Marines are good units. Stimpak's a good ability. As able to run in here. Probably gets a little bit more than he should have done. In the meantime, Zerglings absolutely everywhere. For now. As soon as they see some Terran units, they'll probably evaporate. As they may have Adrenal now. But 3-3 is only just starting, whereas 3-3 and Ghosts on the map now for Maru. And that's going to be difficult to deal with. And there is +1 range upgrades. Ooh, good EMP on the Viper there. That prevents any blinding clouds going out. These Ghosts putting in a lot of work here against these Zerglings. And typically you would think Zerglings are what counter Ghosts, but they kind of don't in the end. Heading down to the south position here, and that's quite a few Banelings, which is gonna need, because Ghosts don't go down that quickly. Oh, he doesn't want to lose this base. Huge number of snipes going out. Gets his cloaks down. And considering there's only one... There's not enough Ghosts... There's not enough Banelings to clean all this up. I'm surprised that Maru didn't take down that Overseer, but... He's just gonna clean up the hatchery with the auto attacks. And evacuate the extremely stealthy squad with just, like, everyone's personal medevac hovering overhead. And Lurker backstab, get some damage done. But ultimately, I don't think these Lurkers are going to be the most efficient units in the world for a little while now, because with the ghosts out, they become very vulnerable. And yes, he can run away now from these snipes. However, burrowed lurkers can't. I believe everything was very precisely tuned. Burrowed lurkers were basically the we want everything faster than this to escape, and nothing slower to. And that was done alongside the EMP right before the blinding cloud goes down. Or the oh no, he did get the blinding cloud down on the tank, but with mass repair, he was able to protect the planetary. We'll also manage to protect this command center from the lurkers, and Solar just really struggling. Yes, Maru is low on SCVs, but sorry, Maru is low on SCVs, but Solar is low on bases and army, and it's just struggling to get any real big lasting damage done to the economy of Maru, who is sitting on about 15 orbital commands. So he's got 5 mules and 10 orbitals going, 10 yep, lurkers die real quick. As this is going to be a push that Solar will have one hell of a job trying to hold up here. Liberators get done. Siege tanks, well, just look at the path that any units had to follow to get to those siege tanks. You really have to send Zerglings around the other side. But if you do that, they just kill your hatchery and run away. So, a really difficult position to... Oh, and the snipes just tear into those Hydras as Solar looks away from his army for half a second. Not a huge number of ghosts left now, but trying to kill these tanks and trying to actually get to those drones, ghosts is quite difficult to say the least. Does manage to prevent any of those snipes going off, as I see Maru is going for Solar's Achilles heel as a nuke. One nuclear missile, please. Hydras. Yep, picked off by those ghosts. More and more snipes going down. Hydra's handling this pretty well at this point. Now, okay. Solar gets the cancel on that nuke. However, the tanks now have moved forward, and with a bit of backup, Solar is not going to be able to clean those up in time before he just loses everything. Dragon Scales is game 3. It's the target of game 3. I'm not quite sure where I meant to go with that. If anyone has any idea, please let me know. Words can be really hard, as it turns out. Regardless, we, like I said, head to Dragon Scales for game 3 now. Solar up in the bottom right. Maru on match point, starting in the top left. As fairly normal start, for now at least. Because we may have a different start at a later point in this game. Maru probably going second barracks here if I'm... Yep, not too quick with that. Yes. How exactly does that line up? I assume a depot there will, or yeah, probably there will finish the wall, because I think an add-on can go there. And then the add-on here, I'd imagine, is how that wall gets constructed. Because I sneaking suspicion Maru's going to wall off his natural. Don't know why. Just, yeah. Seems like something he will probably do. Ah, yes. And of course, because after that barracks finishes, excuse me, you need another depot. Multitasking. The SCVs there. Almost like they're really good at these games. And spend a lot of time practicing to work out exactly what order everything should be done in. Solar will have basically a perfect this happening. He knows the timing of the first Reaper, and begins circling production accordingly. He also knows that there are 2 Raxes doing it, so he also knows to build a couple of extras. I imagine it'll happen pretty soon. These first 2 Zerglings come out. They're not the best position in the world to do anything, but Reaper gets the moral victory and kills a Zergling. A few more Zerglings coming out here. Starting to get a decent amount of damage. Okay, this becomes a bit more awkward now. Now the Queen... Yeah, okay. Until that Queen came out, that was starting to get a little bit awkward just because of the amount of damage on all those Zerglings. With the Queen, on the other hand, it's fine. As a matter of fact, this... Yeah, that's just a pop-up, and, yeah, decide to leave. Let to leave. Nothing to be seen. 3 Reapers, they're starting to get to the point where Queens can definitely get uncomfortable. But Reapers also know they can't hang around because the Zerglings will be there to meet them. Solar finishes up Zergling speed, which I'm just going to assume Maru knew to the exact second based on the information that he'd seen, and decides that he prefers his own side of the map. Solar. Yes, I definitely wanted to follow the rocks. Here we go. Is now on 3rd scouting duty. The command center is actually going up in the main. And I have a sneaking suspicion that'll become an orbital in about 2 seconds. Yep, there we go. Reactor going down on the factory. Wonder if he really wants some Widow Mines, or if that's going to be turning into medevac production straight away. Could be, I don't know the exact build times on it. Pop out 2 Hellion, pop out 2, was it 2 Widow Mines? They finish up just about when the medevac does, and you have a medevac drop. Never mind, he's immediately starting medevac production. Ooh, slow Baneling's gonna force her way in here. The supply depot does not go up. Missed all of that as he Zerglings into the main. And that's quite a few SCVs going down. Does clean up most of these Banelings. Gonna make sure he grabs the supply depot on his way out. Doesn't want to miss that. Does manage to prevent too much damage from those Banelings, I say, as 12 workers have died. Cleans up pretty much all the army here with this round of Zerglings. 14 workers dead. And he's got pretty much all of his SCVs on duty at the front door. Goes to the tech lab. Oh, that tank is not going to get to live. These 3 Banelings are coming in from the wrong direction. His SCVs try to hold off Banelings at the front. That's a big connection there. That was a lot, and yeah, he's down to 10 SCVs now. About 5 Marines. And I think we're going to see game called in a second or two, surely. But no, Maru says no. 7 SCVs is enough to be worth playing with. And lifts his literally only 4 Marines into the medevacs. Then he moves across and sees more Banelings warping and decides to go home. Which, yeah, he needs to do that. Sends all the SCVs back into the main. Good call there. I like the just buttoning down the hatches in the main. Solo bursts through the wall. Gets up here, sees that, let's just say the low ground has been abandoned. These Banelings are going to play Ring Around the Rosie for a little while. Not seeing anything worth their time at the moment. Unless they can nab those Marines trying to shuttle up and down the cliff. Lowers the barracks just to be a wall for a few seconds. As Marines shuffling up and down the cliffs. While I do admire Maru for staying in the game, I feel like he needs an exit plan from this entire situation. And I'm just not sure what it's supposed to be. Like, yes, he's playing really nicely around this sort of corner here. He can have some low ground presence while he, forces things and then pulls back and then forces things a bit more. But it doesn't feel like there's an end game. And Maru, I think this was distinctly massively too keen. He's just gonna force down this building barracks. Yep. And now he has absolutely nothing left to defend. Zerglings get in. They kill all the Marines. And he just needs to decide whether he wants to kill all of the workers or the expansion first. I personally would probably be wanting to start killing workers here, but maybe there aren't enough Zerglings to... Never mind, Solar wins. Maru has had enough of trying to do something with absolutely nothing there. Solar steals one back. Will we get a reverse sweep, or is Maru just going to walk over him? We also have the third option if we have a really tight game 5 that Maru wins, but let's pretend that's not an option. And it is time for game 4 now. Launching in on Ancient Cistern. Maru's in the bottom left. Solar's in the top right. You know, it can be interesting sometimes seeing what names developers go with for their maps. Sometimes they go real abstract, like Altitude, for example, that's on the lineup at the moment. Other times they go for the cool and in lore, the classic Zelnaga Caverns was one that was there for a while. Lost Temple, classic StarCraft 1 and 2 maps. Then you get this Ancient Cistern, and okay, yeah, there's plenty of water around. Now I'd admit I can't remember exactly what a cistern is, but I'm pretty sure it has to do with sewage. And well, this map seems a little bit clean. And also, who would design any sort of plumbing system with these, like, great big cavities in them? That just seems how you get really disease stagnant water, but What do I know? Of course, I could be completely wrong and distance is something else, but I'm fairly certain they have something. Regardless, Solar pushing out to his expansion, and just the one Rax Marine play from Maru here. Possibly figuring that, actually, no, this map is bigger than, what even was our last map? Regardless. Just, going back to the single Reaper play this game. These Zerglings. Decides he does not like, in fact, like Zerglings, and backs off. Solar as an Overlord. And just heads on, moseys on over. He even sees the command center timing, which is pretty nice. Not essential, but it's nice to have. Second Reaper heading over to join the first. There'll be a couple of Hot Wheels to follow him. Surely someone's come up with that nickname. I cannot be the first person to have come up with the idea of calling Hellions Hot Wheels. That has to be it. How have I never heard that before? Anyway. Zerglings. Zerg's answer to the very large number of situations, to be perfectly honest with you. I need a scout, build a Zergling. I need to kill units, build a Zergling. I need something to die so that my important units don't die, build Zerglings. Oh, good surround on these Hellions, but it never feels good surrounding Hellion anything really with drones. Regardless, does manage to do a good job, cleans up all of that for the loss of 4 drones and a Ling. Yeah. It's a trade you don't want to have to take. But it's one you've done pretty well with. Viking now. Heading around, looking for some overlords to pick off. And possibly wants to get a little bit of scout as well. Spore Crawler going down now. That seems like a very good response to a Widowmine drop. A Hellion drop. Maru's really like, ooh, good evo drop there. Trying to split, not too bad. Almost hits the medevac as well. The Hellions have not done a huge amount of damage here so far for Maru. Solar's done a pretty good job of holding them at bay so far. Medevac is still hanging out back there, but with no units, there's not much threat coming from there. Solar spots the command center. Also sees how it's playing a pretty key role in the wall over there. Okay. This one, I bet, is a Widowmine drop. Right. Guessing he wants to try and get in about the times the drilling claws finish. Meanwhile, Roach Speed under construction. Not much in terms of units on either side, to be perfectly honest. Maru. This feels like the sort of army that would kill a 200 army of mine. It's just like, yeah, I had a bunch of Widow mines. What did you expect? Viking. Drawing all the queens to the north here. Meanwhile, this down here, Where mines drop out. They have drilling claws. Oh, a couple of big hits there. 16 drones gone down so far. And this one will get a burrow, but will not get a shot off. A couple of another drop coming in here. Zola kind of reacts in time. Only loses a queen, not the end of the world. Lost 7 drones up here in the main though. And another 2. Solar, however, deciding that, well, he's lost too many drones to, oh, he's lost 14 drones now. That was a very effective drop. So that means it's time. Got his Ravages up. Just blast through that bunker. Siege tank on the high ground is going to do a lot of work here. Drones, SCVs get pulled. As more Marines dancing back and forwards. Gee, still not taking care of these tanks at all. They're just raking in kills here. SCVs working forwards. The last Ravager goes down. Only Marines and Zerglings left, and there's not many of those. The third base going down was probably a little bit keen there from Maru. But gonna get another raid wave of roaches. They're really just trickling across the map here. Gonna be a third tank up in a second here. Yeah, this is not looking good for Solar. Tanks. Yep, that one. Oh, even manages to pick up that tank. Pulls back. All these roaches are dead. There's a Ravager now. Yeah, I think Solar. Yep. Tells Maru to go take the trophy. And that gets Maru the 3-0. Moves him on to the round of 4, so the semi-final. Which I will probably cover at some point, hopefully. Regardless, thank you all for watching. Been a fun one to cast. Definitely saw a few different things in that one. But regardless, I hope to see you all next time. Goodbye.